Hi everyone, welcome back to Dwarf Fortress and the Brightmines. I am Sir Tristan. In the last episode we talked about workforce, and I've updated a few things to go along with it. Let's hit Q, go to our Carpenter's Workshop. See, I've added construct wooden bins, and I've added it to workforce. Set it on repeat and added it to workforce. Hit Alt W, we'll go to workforce real quick. I'm just showing you some things that I did off camera real fast, by the way. And then we'll hit, I was doing the wrong thing. There we go. Go to Shift S, and you can see I've added bins of any material. If there's minimum of 4, start. If there's a max of 8, stop. I set them to be the same as the barrel. Basically, a bin is used in stockpiles in the same way that barrels are used in stockpiles, like food. But a bin will be used in stockpiles like coins and armor and weapons and things like that. So I say all that to lead into I am currently carving out a giant section here, which will be a kind of a early game stockpile. Later on I'll move it all further down to be a little bit safer, further down into the ground. But I am starting that. And that's not the primary thing that I want to talk about. I wanted to talk today about bookkeeping and accounting and kind of nobles and keeping track of what's going on in your fort. So in order to do that, by the way, just as a reminder, in the bottom left corner, if you ever are not sure what I'm doing, hello. Oh, what'd I do? I think I hit a hotkey. You can always see what I'm doing in the bottom left corner as I move around. So if you ever forget what keys you need to press or what needs to go on, you can simply refer down there. So I actually want to maybe cancel this. I'm going to hit DX to cancel this designation because I actually don't want them to work on this right now. Eventually that's what they're going to do, is build that, but I actually want them to build further or dig further down, I think, because I want to start working out some actual bedrooms and most importantly get a bookkeeper's office. So why don't I actually do an I for up downstairs. I'm in the designate menu. I'm just going to dig a downstairs of 9x9, or whoops, 3x3. Oh, I again. Okay, I feel like I've messed this up. Hang on, let me go up a few floors, down a few floors. Okay, we're still good. Just making sure everything's lining up. There we go. The reason I'm doing this with the bedrooms is because there's actually a... Okay, I keep feeling like I'm messing this up. No, this is still good. Okay. There is a noise modifier for any workshops where dwarves are doing work. And you don't want to have your dwarves sleeping near where things are getting made. So I'm just going down a few floors. Let's see, that's the distance is 8 tiles, and that's 8 tiles in any direction. So north, south, east, west, but also on Z, up and down. So let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, so I think we're good for now. Let's go ahead and press X. We're going to remove each one of these middle designations. There we go. So we still have the central staircase. Excellent. And then I'm going to hit escape. There we go. So my dwarves will start digging down. And as they're doing that, I think I want to set up. Are they doing that? Yeah. As they're doing that, I want to set up a kitchen. So I'm going to press kitchen's another type of workshop. Basically, what kitchens allow me to do, I'm going to go ahead and click through here as I talk about it. What kitchens allow me to do is they allow me to take all of these foods that I'm making, the plump helmets, the dwarven wine and alcohol, and it allows me to combine simple foods into meals. And if we pop over to the Dwarf Fortress Wiki, you can see a kitchen is operated by a dwarf with the cooking labor enabled. It is used to cook prepared meals and render fat from butchered animals into tallow. We'll get into butchering in a future episode once I get some more animals in the fort. But cooking meals applies a quality modifier to each ingredient, which drastically increases the food's value up to 100%. Cooked meals count as ingredients for the purpose of satisfying your dwarves' preferences, increasing the likelihood of happy thoughts while eating. Finally, cooking spoilable foods such as meat, fish, and plants will deter rot, but any seeds cooked from plants are lost. So there's a few reasons to make cooked food. 1, higher chance of increasing preference. 2, giant increase in quality, which in general makes dwarves happy and increases the value of your fort. And 3, it deters rot. So if you have a fisherman out there fishing, all his food is not just going to go to waste sitting there. So I want to build a kitchen. That's going to be, I think, Z is the key. There we go. It is the key. And just like before, we have the 3x3 section. Press enter to place it. And I'm going to use maple logs again since I have so many. So let's make sure that labor is enabled. I hit Q to look at the building, and it needs cooking. So let's jump over to Dwarf Therapist. You guys should probably kind of know the drill here, right? I set up a workshop to do something. I check to see what it needs to do, or what laborers need to build it and to work it. And then I assign that labor in Dwarf Fortress. So I need cooking, which we have right here in this column. Romanulus was our cook, but I decided to make him a full-time brewer. So, I did waste a few points in my embark, making him a cook. That's okay. That's okay. There is someone else in the last episode that I assigned as a cook, just as a placeholder. He has no skill in it whatsoever, but I do believe he's the best possible choice. Yeah, that's right. I did look this up to make sure. 47%. He's 47% of the best cook he can be, which is fine. I don't think anybody else has anything higher than that. 40, 0, and 0. 50. Well, Sir Ara's already our mason, so I can't take over his job. So we'll leave Zasit Adio Serib as our cook, and let's go ahead and rename him now. And remember, if you ever want a dwarf named after you, please let me know in the comments down below. For now, this guy's kind of an open one, so I'll revert to my classic Final Fantasy naming scheme. Let's call him Vaughn. Hello, Vaughn. So we will apply, we'll commit that change. So now Vaughn, our cook, should be able to come over here. Let's find him in the U menu. Vaughn is right here. Construct building, that's his job. Very cool. So he should run out, get some wood, and come up and eat, or not eat, come up and build the kitchen so other dwarves can eat. Cool, there we go. So I hit Q, so now we're on the actual kitchen. Just like other workshops, we're going to press A to add a task. And you can see right here you have differences between easy, fine, and lavish. Well, let's jump over to the wiki again. 3 types of meals. Easy will use 2 ingredients and will result in biscuits. Fine use 3 and will result in stew. Lavish will use 4 and will result in roasts. So there's some more tips here about what to cook and things like that. I already know a little bit about that. So since we don't have, let's press Z to go to, press Z to go to status, go over to kitchen and press enter. And we can kind of see here, we have a lot of peaches, 20-ish plump helmets. We don't know exactly how many. A bunch of plump helmet seeds, which if you remember from a previous episode, you don't have permission to cook. Remember that if you cook seeds, the seeds are removed. But if plump helmets are turned into meals, the seed is saved. If plump helmets are cooked into wine, or made into wine, or into beer, the seed is saved. So you never want to use seeds for cooking, but they can be used for other things. You don't want to use seeds for cooking. Yes, that's remember the important thing here. I got about 70 drinks. That's a pretty good amount. I have a bunch of, what are these, pond turtles? Yes, pond turtles. So here's something else. I talked about preventing dwarves from using certain things for cooking. I do not want them to cook these turtles. So I'm going to C to toggle the cooking on the male turtles, and I'll press C on the female turtles. Here's the reason why. Turtles will create shells when they're eaten. Those shells will stick around and can be used for various things in the fort, such as crazy moods, which I'll talk about when they happen for the first time. Don't worry about it right now. If you cook a turtle, the shell is removed. Kind of like if you cook a plump helmet, the seed is removed. We don't want that. We don't want that. So I set that to be banned from cooking. So we're going to add a bunch of easy meals. I don't have a lot of food variety. I have peaches, I have plump helmets, and I have wine. And you can see, again, in the wiki, it talks about using liquid ingredients. If you have only milk, booze, or syrup, cooking jobs get canceled. However, a single plump helmet can be cooked in 10 dwarven wine, 10 milk, or 10 syrup to make 31 plump helmet meals. Not roast specifically, but... So, I think what I want to do for now is just go with easy meals. And as I get fish, as I get, eggs, as I get some other foods around, I want to start making lavish meals. But for now, I'll press A to make some easy meals. And I'm just going to add a bunch of those for now. I don't want to set an infinite amount because I don't want all of my plump helmets and mostly my wine to be taken up by this, because I don't have a very solid a farm set up yet. Speaking of which, we have the second farm built, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and set these up to do plump helmets for summer, and we'll go to spring. We'll go to let's see, press B for summer, go to plump helmets. I already got that. Okay, go to autumn or fall, then go to winter. There we go. So hopefully now the two farmers that I have already filled up this entire thing. So I'm fine if we use all the seeds right now, because I'm not using seeds for anything other than planting, and I don't want them to be used for anything else. So planting them is a good thing. That's going to build up my food stockpile. Okay, I've talked a lot about that. Let's go all the way down to the bottom. Good. I'm going to dig out a small section. This is going to be a special little section, I think. I'll tell you what, let's actually... whoa. Oh, I hit F1. That moved me to the top. Okay. I'll talk about hotkeys once I have a few different layers, but that's for the future. Now I could set up my easy meals for... let's get this mined out first before I talk about that. So we'll do this down to here, and then we will make a room. I want to make a good sized room because I want it to be happy. It's a pretty good sized room. And now I'm going to wait for the dwarves to carve it out. So I could use workflow to set a certain amount of meals. That's probably what I will do in the future once I am more confident in my food and drink production. And getting my bookkeeper, and I called him an accountant in the last episode. That's not his actual title in the game. It's bookkeeper. Once I get my bookkeeper locked down, then that's going to inform a lot of my other decisions. So that's fine. Okay, so I have my room for my bookkeeper. So let's press N, and this is a brand new command. So N shows your nobles and your administrators. So if I press N, here's a list of all of the basically jobs that I can assign to people. As you can see, Christian, my expedition leader, I've not talked about him a lot yet, but I'm going to talk about him right now. I'm actually going to make Christian my bookkeeper as well. So let's go down to the bookkeeper. We're going to R to replace, and we're going to, as you can see, he's already going to make an adequate bookkeeper. That's because some of the skills that I gave him in the very first episode. So there you go. Now he is both my expedition leader and my bookkeeper. If we press S on the settings, here we go. This is what I like to see. So I can choose with my bookkeeper how precise I want to be with counts. This is a little hard to read, so I'll take a second just to explain it. But you can just use the far left text as an estimation of how well he's going to, how accurate he's going to keep your counts. Lowest, low, medium, high, and highest, meaning all counts are completely accurate. The higher it is, the longer it's going to take. So it's all about rounding. If you can see, if you choose lowest precision, if you have 77 of something, he'll round up to 80. If you have 777 of something, he'll round up to 800, and so on. If you do low precision, look at that first column here. That 77 will be accurate, and everything will be rounded up to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100, to the nearest 1,000. If I go to medium, the first two, 777 will be accurate, 777 will be accurate. And then the third highest will be pretty accurate. It'll round to the nearest 10, round to the nearest 100, and so on. I liked medium precision just because for the beginning of the game, we could probably do low, honestly, because we're not going to have 777 of anything for the time being. But the higher it is, the more it's going to take, the longer it's going to take. So I'm going to do low precision for now. Now he needs certain things, which you can see right here. Well, you can't see right here that he requires certain things, but the red shows that he doesn't have what he requires. So I'm going to build a few things for Christian. First off, let's build a door. Oh, we don't have a door. Okay, let's go back up. Back up, 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 up. We will build one door. Q. Go to our mason, add door. There we go. Gonna add a door. Let's go all the way back down. There we go. Now, he definitely needs a table, so I'm gonna build a table. We will build the table. What needs table? I have a table. Build table. Oops, table. I don't have a table? Chair. I don't have a chair? I'm not very good at planning ahead, as you can see. I could have sworn that I set this up beforehand. That's okay. We're going to add a table. Oops. Cancel that with X. Add a table. No. Don't remove the building. Stop that. Okay. Add a door. Add a table. Add a chair. Which is going to be called the throne. So let me actually talk about how you can find out what your nobles need. Let's actually go to Dwarf Fortress, or Dwarf Fortress Wiki. Type in nobles. Below are the room demands made by each position. For details on the rooms, see room. Okay, so what does our bookkeeper need? He needs a meager office. A meager office. Let's go to the room. Where's meager office? Wait a minute. Okay, most stores don't have high expectations when it comes to rooms. Communal dining room, communal dorm is enough for general population. Nobles require certain things. Room quality can be viewed through the view rooms building command. I don't think that's the actual command that we need, though. Let's check. There is a command to look up what they need. Uh-oh. The dog is fighting. When was this? Oh, it was a long time ago. Okay, don't worry about that. Capital R. There we go. Yeah, no, this is not what we need. Okay, hang on. Let's go back to the wiki. This is actually one thing that I forgot. Is that there's a certain place to look it up. I remember what they need. But how do I find out? How do I find out what the actual rooms need? Maybe if we just search for meager office? Let's try that. Meager office. I didn't mean to do this on camera. But that's okay. Designated for a throne or chair, right. Probably need you'll probably first encounter this you will probably first encounter this need in a bookkeeper. Yes, I know, that's what I'm trying to do. Assign a chair. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're just gonna do it live. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Build a door. Yes, good. Right there. Okay, so the door's been placed. Build table. Nope, table. Good. Chair. Perfect. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. Hopefully doors are coming down to place my door and my table and my chair very soon. You can see down at the bottom, by the way, I'm pausing quick. Stopping production barrel. Oops. You can see that down at the bottom. It's in my announcements, which I'll talk about later on, but that's workflow, basically reaching the maximum number of barrels. If we hold Alt and hit W, that didn't work because I'm not on A. I am not on a workshop. Go to a workshop, Alt W. Come on. Come on. Oh yeah, you can see up there, look, it's suspended. It's suspended automatically. Hit Alt W on it. Look at that. So there are currently 9 free barrels. That's 1 above 8, so he stopped building the barrels. So that makes really good sense. That was just a quick kind of announcement for when workflow stops something. Okay, I didn't mean to go into that. So many things to talk about all the time. Okay, we're waiting for the chair to set up a room. Waiting for a chair. I'm at my time limit for this episode, but man, there's so much to talk about. There we go. There's our chair. I'm going to hit Q. Just like always for any kind of building. Go down. We're going to make this a throne room or a study. Use the plus and minus keys to set the right size. There we go. Now we're actually going to assign this chair to Christian, the expedition leader. There. And you can see down here, auto allocate to, well, that was for DF hack. If I didn't remember, or perhaps if I had thousands or hundreds of dwarves, I couldn't remember who my bookkeeper was, I could just turn it on right there, and it would automatically assign him to that. So, okay. Now that's done. Now is this what I need to do? Modest office. I guess that's it. It doesn't actually need anything. Christian, you're sleeping. This is not what I want you to do right now. Can you wake up, please, Christian? I need you to go in and count things to prove that did this right. Did I do this right? Whoa, do we have kids? Are those kids? Dwarven child. Dwarven child. Uh-oh, I got a bunch of kids. Hang on. I get distracted very easily by things. Child. I have 3 children. No, 3 children. The children are useless. They don't do anything. Don't do anything but eat food. Oh well, anyway. One day those children will grow up to actually do something. But for now... Oh, look at that. No, we have somebody sleeping on the floor. Do we have beds? Build a bed. We have beds. We have lots of beds. Have to dig up more space for beds. Designate D. We've got to mine an area. Let's dig out that space. There we go. We need more space, more beds. That's terrible. I did not mean for that to happen. Oh, Christian. There we go. Look at that. Christian is updating the stockpile records. Looks like that's all he needed. Let's go down to his room. And he's going to show up. Was that it? Really? Are you done? That was it? Okay, so let's press Z and go to kitchen. Cool, very good. So remember, we did low, which means we don't know exactly how many plump helmets we have, but we've rounded up slightly. So we know we have in the neighborhood of about 110, 115-ish. We have exactly 23 plump helmets, so anything with 2 digits is going to be perfectly accounted for. 53 dwarven wine, 25 pond turtles exactly. Very cool. So since that took almost no time at all, let me go back to the noble screen within, go down to the bookkeeper, press S. Let's actually do medium precision instead. And now when he comes back to count, which he's coming down to do, there we go, he's done. Let's go back to status, go over to the kitchen. There we go. Oh, look at that, exactly 120 peaches. Cool. So now everything is perfectly up to date. Every once in a while, he will come down here to make a count, make sure that everything is accurate. So with these numbers, I can better gauge how well my fort is doing over the long run. Cool. Well, let's see. I talked about a lot. I know, I apologize. I kind of jumped all over the place. I did not get a video out Monday, and my time is really short for tonight because it's already like 1 o'clock in the morning. But I love you guys, and I didn't want to leave you hanging. So there you go. There's your Dwarf Fortress for Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for joining. Remember, if you want a dwarf named after you, let me know. If you liked what you saw, please hit the like button down below. Helps me out a ton. It helps build the channel, and it also helps other people who like Dwarf Fortress or who are interested in Dwarf Fortress learn how to play, because I love doing these tutorials for you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.